I didn't plan to follow her. That's what I keep telling myself. It started with small things, late meetings that ran past midnight, new perfume she claimed was on sale, her phone suddenly glued to her hand like it held state secrets. Nothing concrete, just a shift in energy, a distance I could feel but not explain. Then came the hotel receipt. Not on our joint card. She was smarter than that. It showed up in our shared email because she forgot to uncheck the auto-forward setting when she booked it. The subject line read, "Reservation confirmed. Silvercrest Hotel one night. Friday. Room paid in advance." She had told me she was staying at her best friend Alina's house for a girls' reset night. Alina was tagged in Instagram photos that same Friday, at a family barbecue across town. That was the moment suspicion became certainty. So when Friday came, I didn't confront her. I followed her. She left around 6:15 p.m., said, "Don't wait up." I waited 5 minutes, grabbed my keys, and kept enough distance so she wouldn't notice. She didn't drive toward Alina's neighborhood. She drove downtown, straight to the Silvercrest. It was a sleek place, modern glass exterior, discreet valet entrance, the kind of hotel people choose when they don't want questions. I parked across the street and watched her step out of the car. She wasn't dressed like someone going to eat pizza and gossip with a friend. She was dressed like she used to dress for me when we were dating. That hurt more than anything. She walked into the lobby confidently, like she'd done it before. I waited 10 minutes before going in. The lobby smelled expensive. Polished marble floors, soft jazz playing. I walked toward the reception desk, rehearsing a lie in my head. Before I could speak, a man's voice behind me said, "You must be Adam." My blood went cold. I turned slowly, mid-30s, dark suit, calm expression. He looked like he belonged there. "I'm sorry," I said. He offered a polite smile. "She's upstairs, room 1214. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. "How do you know my name?" He tilted his head slightly, almost sympathetically. "She said you might come eventually." The floor felt unstable beneath me. "She?" I asked, though I already knew. "Your wife," he replied gently. For a split second, I wondered if this was some kind of twisted joke. "Who are you?" I demanded. "Not who you think," he said, "and not who she told you." That sentence hit differently. "What is this?" I asked. He glanced toward the elevators. "You deserve the truth. I didn't think you'd actually show up tonight." "Why would she tell you I might?" He exhaled slowly. "Because she's been planning to leave." The words didn't land all at once. They dropped piece by piece. "She said your marriage has been over for years, that you just don't know it yet." I stared at him. "So you're her affair partner?" He shook his head. "No." I felt anger rising. "Then what exactly are you?" He hesitated, then extended his hand. "My name is Daniel. I'm her attorney." Everything inside me went silent. "Attorney," I repeated. He nodded. "She booked this room for a consultation. She didn't want it on record at an office. She said if you saw her going into a law firm, you'd suspect something." My knees felt weak. "You're telling me she's filing for divorce?" "She hasn't yet," he said carefully, "but she's preparing." I couldn't process it. All the signs I thought pointed to cheating. The secrecy, the distance, the hotel booking. "You're lying," I said, though my voice lacked conviction. He held up a leather portfolio. "I can't share details without her consent, but I can tell you this isn't an affair." "Then why the hotel?" I asked. "Privacy," he replied. "And fear." "Fear of what?" "You." That stung. "She said you don't listen anymore, that when she brings up issues, you dismiss them, that you think everything's fine." I opened my mouth to argue, then closed it. Because the truth is, I had thought everything was fine. We didn't fight. We didn't scream. We just coexisted. Routine had replaced connection, and I'd mistaken stability for happiness. "She told you I might follow her?" I asked quietly. "Yes," he said. "She said if you did, it would prove she was right, that you don't trust her." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "She booked a hotel in secret. What did she expect?" He didn't respond. The elevator dinged behind us. My chest tightened. Is she with anyone right now? I asked. Just paperwork, he replied. I stared at the elevator doors. Part of me wanted to storm upstairs, demand answers, demand explanations. But another part of me realized something heavier. This wasn't betrayal through infidelity. It was something colder, disengagement. She hadn't been sneaking around with a lover. She'd been planning an exit, quietly, methodically. I looked back at Daniel. What did she say about me? I asked. He paused. She said you're a good man, just emotionally absent. That one landed, harder than hearing her laugh behind a hotel door ever could have. I stepped back from the elevators. Tell her I was here, I said. He nodded. Do you want to go up? I shook my head. No. For the first time that night, I wasn't angry. I was unsettled. Because I had built an entire narrative in my head about cheating, betrayal, and secret lovers. But the truth was simpler. She was lonely. And instead of fighting for us loudly, she chose to leave quietly. When I got home, the house felt different. Not because she wasn't there, but because I realized I hadn't really been there either. She came home 2 hours later. When she walked in and saw me sitting in the living room, she froze. You followed me, she said softly. I did. And? I met Daniel. Her face drained of color. You talked to him? He knew my name. She closed her eyes briefly. I didn't think you'd actually come. I almost didn't. Silence stretched between us. You thought I was cheating, she said. I did. She nodded slowly. Part of me wishes it were that simple. We sat across from each other for a long time. No shouting, no accusations. Just two people realizing they had drifted further apart than either admitted. Are you filing? I asked. I don't know, she whispered. I wanted to feel like I had control. That night, for the first time in years, we talked honestly about resentment, about neglect, about the slow erosion of intimacy. I don't know what happens next. Maybe we rebuild. Maybe we sign papers in that same hotel room. But I do know this. When I followed my wife to that hotel, I expected to catch her with another man. Instead, I found something worse. Proof that our marriage had been ending long before either of us had the courage to say it out loud.